an agenda.
I don't have one.
Oh, there's some up there, but there's one.
I'm fine with that one.
There's not much on it, I can promise you, but I've added some stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
I'd like to call the first meeting in February for the Civil Service Commission to order. First order of business, any public comments? With none, under old business, approval of the November Commission regular meeting minutes.
A motion to approve November, or that's November.
January.
January.
Second.
I'm getting old. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Any opposed, no. Motion carries. All right, 3 or 4 things here before we get started. First, I'd like to thank the mayor for continuing to serve in this dual role of being HR director as well. He's the one that put all this stuff together, so thank you, sir.
You're welcome. And I've actually interviewed 2 HR personnel, so we're getting closer. So
Good news.
narrowing it down, yeah.
Commissioner Coney is out. I had completely forgotten about that. That raises an issue of how we're going to score these. But I will read his questions, and of course, I always do a score sheet anyway. My first thought was we just increase everybody's score by 20%, but then I thought, does it really matter? Because they're all going to be dealing with the maximum of, in this case, 4 times the maximum of 80 points. Or 40, is it 40 or 80? 8 times 5 is 40.
I think we've had a commissioner missing.
We have. This is not unprecedented, but I'm trying to remember. I think we were going to do some formula, and I think some of the firemen said we're all at the same max, potential max, so does it really matter? We just score it by 4 people and divide by 4 for the average.
I'm good with that.
Okay, you're good with that. I just want to run that by you. I was definitely going to, this month, Chief Williams, bring forward the idea or the discussion of the idea that perhaps there need to be some difference, and I don't want to use the word standards because that's not what I'm trying to say, but differences in what you are allowed to do in the face, to hire and keep people in the face of the difficulty police departments are having around the country. I had fully intended to bring that tonight. Then I saw how many people we've got to interview and how long we were going to be here, and I thought 2 weeks from now is fine for that particular issue. So I do intend to bring that back, and I will work with the city attorney to help me frame that probably a little bit better than I just said it, but I do intend to bring it back. But I thought next time we've got 2 interviews. So if we're going to have a long discussion, I'd rather do it 2 weeks from tonight than tonight. One other issue, and I did talk with the mayor/HR director about this last week. We had 1 person that passed the written for battalion chief. So the question then became, is there any reason to put them through the orals and more particularly to me to go to all the trouble of an assessment when you've only got 1 person that has passed the written? And I'm open to your ideas on that.
What are our options?
Yeah. I mean, he would be the #1 candidate no matter which
Right.
way.
We could,
It's the only candidate.
whatever formality we could forego, I think we could just forego it.
That way you don't, just a second.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to tell you again, we're talking about things that aren't unprecedented. If some of y'all will remember that Eli Keller, when it was a corporal then, before he was sergeant, one year was the only person on the list. And he went through the interview process, I believe, and in talking to him, he said he felt like it was probably unnecessary and that the commissioners felt like it was unnecessary. The impression I was left with him is kind of nobody's heart was in it because it was a foregone conclusion. Everybody knew what the result was going to be.
Yeah.
And I'm just throw that out there for whatever you may, I'm not making a recommendation whatsoever, but I do remember that situation. And Eli kind of asked why.
I mean, it's a legitimate question.
Because the grade's
Tend
not,
to agree with that. I mean,
the
why?
grade's not gonna be put against anyone else, right?
Right.
So
It's not gonna be.
if we score one
No
or
matter
score
what, it's
five,
one person.
that's what it's gonna be.
Right.
Okay.
The individual we're talking about is the one that's actually in the temporary position right now. So he's gone through the process before. He's gone through everything. He's very capable of what he's doing.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's why whenever I talked to Commissioner Durham, I said, I don't see a point in moving forward from here, but, that decision lays with you guys. So.
I think it just makes sense.
I'm not sure how to put this in the form of a motion, but I would say that we forego the commission's dealings in that promotion.
Do we even need a motion for this, Mr. City Attorney?
It wouldn't hurt.
Okay. Then, if that's the case, how do we address the assessment? Do you make a motion that he be allowed to not do both?
And if I'm able, I'd just say make the motion that you let his written test be his final score. And then you don't address either one of them.
There you go.
Simplify it.
Yeah. Is
And
that
I-
okay,
I'm-
Mr. Attorney? I like that.
And I'm more looking from the
That's a good
viewpoint,
motion. I'll say, that's my motion.
I mean, he might feel it's unnecessary to do an oral before us, but, and I've never watched you do an assessment, but I'm assuming that's bringing in outside parties and going to a whole lot of trouble. And to me, that's a lot bigger deal than our 15 minutes of fame up here.
I agree with what the mayor said, and that would be a good motion to set.
All right, so do I hear that particular motion?
If the city attorney could tell me how he's gonna word that, I'll make that motion.
A motion to allow the written score to serve as the final score on the promotional list, for the promotional
When
list.
you have just one,
Just
Yeah,
one
because there's
score.
only one passing score.
yeah.
That makes the motion.
Mr. Secretary, do you have that down?
Yeah, I'll get it on the recording, all of it, clearly. I like that.
Do I hear a second?
I got it. I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say yes.
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 Any opposed, say no. Motion carries. I now need, I think that's all the housekeeping we need to do. I now need a motion to, yes, sir.
One more.
Okay.
One more item. With that being the case, I would like to ask permission, kind of like what we did, a year ago? About this, well, it was a year ago, August. I'd like to go ahead and make his temporary promotion good through Chief Eaton's return, which will be like November, so that I don't have to continue to come back every 3 months if you guys are okay with that.
You still have to up it every 60 days, I
I
think.
think that the
Yeah, I think
regs require that.
Yeah, I think that's in the rules.
So I will have to continue to
Yes,
come
sir.
back every 2 months. Okay, all right.
Are we okay on time for that now at the moment?
Well, we would need, we're about at
we-
a point right now where we need to re-up it after 60 days.
Yeah, it'd have to re-up after the end of February, basically. So,
Okay, let's go ahead and take care of it then.
okay.
Need a motion to extend a temporary appointment. That's for battalion chief?
Yeah,
For battalion chief.
I'll make a motion to extend the 4th Battalion Chief for the extended 3 months.
2 months.
Oh, 2 months, extended 2 months, 60 days.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Now, need a motion to move into executive session to conduct oral interviews.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Any opposed, no. Motion carries. All right, get your score sheets.